Alright, y'all. Today we're going to learn about chemical equations. Yesterday, we learned that chemical changes make a new how atoms come together or split apart to make new substances. So our first note is that scientists write equations to keep track of all of the atoms in a chemical reaction. So if I know I'm trying to make salt, I have sodium atoms and I have chlorine atoms. And I know that these two atoms have to come together to make sodium chloride or salt. So we do it to keep track of all of the atoms in our reaction. Our note number 2. Reactants are the atoms that come before a chemical reaction. So if I'm trying to make water from hydrogen and oxygen, my hydrogen atoms and my oxygen atoms are my reactants because they come before my chemical equation. The arrow symbolizes the reaction. So whenever I see an arrow, I know that a chemical reaction has taken place. And the products are the atoms after a chemical reaction has taken place. So I know that after my chemical reaction, I end up with water, H2O. These are my products. Practice question number 1. Why do scientists write chemical equations? Please look back to your first note. Practice question number 2. In a chemical reaction, which comes first, the reactants or the products, and why? Practice question number 3. What are the reactants in this equation? I have sodium atoms, I have chlorine atoms, and then I have sodium chloride or salt on the other side. So what are the reactants and what are the products of this chemical equation? And practice question number 4. If I have copper and I have sulfur, that turns into copper sulfate. What are the reactants and what are the products of this chemical reaction?